Today, I'll take you on a journey through the Roman Colosseum. Please don't forget to like this video, share it, and subscribe to our channel. Thank you. The Roman Colosseum, also known as the Flavian Amphitheatre, is one of the most iconic and recognizable landmarks of the ancient world. Located in the heart of Rome, Italy, the Colosseum is a massive, oval-shaped amphitheater that was built nearly 2,000 years ago. It has become a symbol of the power, grandeur, and brutality of the Roman Empire. Construction of the Colosseum began in AD 72 and took nearly a decade to complete. It was commissioned by Emperor Vespasian, who saw the project as a way to demonstrate his power and win the favor of the Roman people. The Colosseum was designed to be a venue for large-scale public entertainment, including gladiator fights, animal hunts, and mock battles. The site of the Colosseum was originally a large lake, known as the Stagnum Nerones, which had been artificially created by the Emperor Nero for his palace. Vespasian ordered the draining of the lake and the leveling of the ground to make way for the new amphitheater. The Colosseum was built using a combination of concrete, brick, and stone. The outer walls were made of travertine limestone, a type of stone that was readily available in the surrounding hills. The interior was made of brick and concrete, a combination that allowed for greater strength and durability. The Colosseum was designed to be a massive, oval-shaped structure that could seat up to 50,000 spectators. It was divided into 4 levels, each with a different type of seating arrangement. The lowest level, known as the hypogeum, was used for staging and storage. It contained a complex system of corridors, tunnels, and elevators that allowed for the movement of animals and scenery. The second level was reserved for the wealthy and the ruling classes. It was decorated with elaborate stucco and marble work and featured a covered colonnade that provided shade and shelter. The third level was reserved for the middle class, while the fourth level was open to the general public. The Colosseum was equipped with a sophisticated system of drainage and ventilation that allowed for the easy flow of water and air. It also had a complex system of retractable awnings that could be used to provide shade and protection from the elements. One of the most impressive features of the Colosseum was its roof, which was made of a series of wooden beams and canvas awnings. The roof could be opened and closed using a system of ropes and pulleys, allowing for the easy control of light and air. The construction of the Colosseum was a massive undertaking that required the labor of thousands of workers. It is estimated that over 100,000 cubic meters of stone and 300 tons of iron were used in the construction of the Colosseum. The workforce was made up of skilled craftsmen, such as stonemasons, carpenters, and metalworkers, as well as unskilled laborers, such as slaves and prisoners of war. Many of the workers were housed in nearby barracks and provided with food and clothing. The construction of the Colosseum was not without its challenges. During the construction, there were several major earthquakes that caused damage to the structure. In AD 217, the Colosseum was struck by lightning, which caused a fire that destroyed a significant portion of the wooden roof. The Colosseum is an engineering marvel, standing 48 meters, 157 feet, tall and covering an area of over 6 acres. It is made of travertine limestone and concrete and could seat up to 50,000 spectators. The Colosseum was designed with a complex system of corridors, tunnels, and stairways to allow for easy movement of people and animals. The Colosseum was also equipped with a sophisticated system of elevators and pulleys that could be used to hoist animals and scenery up to the arena floor. This allowed for elaborate and dramatic spectacles, such as recreations of famous battles and mythological scenes. The most famous events held in the Colosseum were the gladiator fights. These battles were staged between trained fighters, many of whom were slaves or prisoners of war. They were armed with various weapons, such as swords, shields, and spears, and fought each other to the death in front of a bloodthirsty crowd. The gladiator fights were brutal and often ended in death, but they were also highly popular. They were seen as a symbol of Roman power and the strength of the empire. Gladiators were admired for their bravery and skill, and the most successful fighters could become rich and famous. The gladiator fights at the Roman Colosseum were one of the most popular and enduring forms of entertainment in ancient Rome. For over 400 years, gladiators fought to the death in front of tens of thousands of spectators, many of whom were eager to see blood and violence. The gladiators were typically slaves or prisoners of war who had been trained in combat and armed with a variety of weapons, including swords, shields, and tridents. They were often forced to fight against each other or against wild animals, such as lions, tigers, and bears. The gladiator fights were organized into different types of contests, each with its own set of rules and traditions. Some contests were designed to showcase the skills of the gladiators, while others were intended to be purely violent and bloody. One of the most popular types of contests was the munus, which was a public spectacle that was usually held to commemorate a particular occasion, such as a military victory or the birthday of a prominent citizen. The munus typically featured multiple bouts of gladiatorial combat, as well as other forms of entertainment, such as animal hunts and chariot races. Another popular type of contest was the venatio, which was a form of animal hunt that involved the release of wild animals, such as lions and elephants, into the arena. The hunters, typically armed with spears and swords, would attempt to kill the animals while avoiding being killed themselves. Perhaps the most infamous type of contest was the naumachia, which was a mock naval battle that was fought in a flooded arena. The naumachia was an incredibly expensive and elaborate spectacle that required the construction of large-scale models of warships and the flooding of the arena with water. The gladiatorial contests at the Colosseum were not without controversy, however. Many Romans viewed the spectacle as cruel and barbaric, and there were numerous attempts to ban or limit the fights. Despite these criticisms, the gladiator fights remained a popular form of entertainment in Rome for centuries, and they continue to capture the imaginations of people today. The gladiators themselves have become legendary figures, romanticized in popular culture as symbols of bravery, honor, and courage. In recent years, there has been a growing interest in the historical accuracy of the gladiator fights, as well as the conditions under which the gladiators lived and trained. While much of the history of the gladiatorial contests has been lost to time, historians and archaeologists have been able to piece together a more accurate picture of the lives of the gladiators and the role that they played in the Roman Empire. Animal hunts, also known as venations, were a popular form of entertainment in the Roman Colosseum. These spectacles involved the release of wild animals into the arena, such as lions, tigers, bears, and even crocodiles, for the purpose of hunting and killing them. The hunts were often held in conjunction with gladiatorial games, and were meant to showcase the bravery and skill of the hunters, who were usually prisoners or slaves. The hunters were armed with a variety of weapons, such as spears, swords, and bows, and would attempt to kill the animals while avoiding being killed themselves. The animals used in the hunts were often brought in from all corners of the Roman Empire, and included exotic creatures such as giraffes and elephants. The hunts were seen as a way for the Roman Empire to demonstrate its dominance over the natural world, and were often used as a form of propaganda to impress foreign visitors. The hunts were incredibly popular with the crowds, who were often eager to see the spectacle of humans battling against ferocious beasts. The animals were usually starved before the hunt to make them more aggressive, and the hunters were often at a disadvantage due to the size and strength of their opponents. The hunts were not without controversy, however, and there were many who viewed them as cruel and barbaric. Some critics argued that the hunts were a waste of resources and animal life, and that the spectacle was a distraction from more pressing social issues. Despite these criticisms, the animal hunts continued to be held in the Colosseum for centuries, and even became more elaborate and grandiose over time. The hunts were eventually banned by Emperor Honorius in 404 AD, as part of a broader effort to curb the excesses of the Roman Empire. The Colosseum was also used for mock battles, known as nomachii. They were one of the most spectacular and elaborate forms of entertainment held in the Roman Colosseum. These mock battles were staged using specially built pools, which were flooded with water and used to recreate naval battles. The word nomachia comes from the Greek word for naval battle, and the first recorded nomachia was held by Julius Caesar in 46 BC. These battles were often staged to commemorate special events or celebrations, and were used to demonstrate the naval power and skill of the Roman Empire. The nomachii were typically fought by teams of trained sailors and soldiers, who were tasked with recreating famous naval battles or inventing new scenarios. The battles were incredibly dangerous, and many participants lost their lives in the process. The ships used in the battles were often scaled-down versions of real warships, but were still equipped with weapons such as ballistae and catapults. The nomachii were immensely popular with the Roman people, who were often eager to see the spectacle of naval battles fought on dry land. The battles were also used as a way for the Roman Empire to demonstrate its military might, and to impress foreign visitors with the scale and grandeur of the event. Despite their popularity, the nomachii were not without controversy, and there were many who viewed them as a waste of resources and human life. Some critics argued that the battles were a distraction from more pressing social issues, and that the money and resources used to stage them could have been better spent on improving the lives of the Roman people. The nomachii were eventually banned by Emperor Trajan in the 2nd century AD, as part of a broader effort to curb the excesses of the Roman Empire. Today, the mock naval battles in the Roman Colosseum remain a testament to the spectacle and grandeur of the ancient world, and are a vivid reminder of the power and influence of the Roman Empire. Despite its popularity, the Colosseum was also the subject of controversy and criticism. Many people saw the gladiator fights and other violent spectacles as cruel and barbaric. Some writers and philosophers, such as Seneca and Pliny the Elder, spoke out against the practice of using humans and animals for entertainment. Over time, the Colosseum fell into disuse and disrepair. It was used as a quarry for building materials and suffered damage from earthquakes and other natural disasters. Today, only a portion of the original structure remains, but the Colosseum remains a powerful symbol of the grandeur and brutality of ancient Rome. In recent years, there have been concerted efforts to restore and preserve the Colosseum for future generations. These efforts have included a variety of initiatives, from structural repairs to the implementation of new technologies for monitoring and maintaining the site. One of the most significant restoration projects was the cleaning of the Colosseum's exterior in the 1990s, which removed years of grime and pollution that had accumulated on the structure. This project, which was funded by the Italian government and the European Union, involved a team of experts who used a combination of chemical and mechanical cleaning methods to restore the Colosseum's original white color. In addition to the exterior cleaning, there have also been efforts to restore the interior of the Colosseum. This has included the installation of new lighting systems and the restoration of the underground chambers and passages that were used by gladiators and animals during the spectacles. One of the most ambitious restoration projects was the restoration of the Colosseum's 4th and 5th levels, which had been closed to the public for centuries due to safety concerns. This project, which was completed in 2016, involved the installation of new walkways, elevators, and lighting systems, allowing visitors to experience the Colosseum from a new perspective. In addition to these physical restoration efforts, there have also been efforts to use technology to monitor and maintain the Colosseum. This has included the use of sensors and other monitoring devices to detect structural weaknesses and other potential hazards, as well as the implementation of a new ticketing system that allows visitors to reserve their tickets online in advance. Despite these efforts, the Colosseum remains a fragile and vulnerable structure, and continued preservation efforts will be necessary to ensure its survival for future generations. This will require a combination of government funding, private investment, and international cooperation, as well as ongoing research and innovation in the fields of restoration and conservation. Today, the Roman Colosseum remains a popular tourist destination, attracting millions of visitors each year. It is a powerful symbol of the ancient world and a testament to the enduring legacy of the Roman Empire. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel to keep up with the latest videos. Thank you.